beware, beware. This is a warning. The Grim Reaper of radio, Bob Romanik, with his off-the-record show is about to air. He's probably the nastiest and craziest son of a bitch that you've ever had the misfortune to encounter. The Grim Reaper show will be very controversial and probably quite tasteless. If you are even slightly offended by controversial matter concerning religion, racial matters, politics, or life's problems, you are hereby warned to turn this program off immediately. The Grim Reaper show will be, like his face, very scary and very ugly. At this time, not proudly, but shamefully presents to you Bob Romanik, the craziest son of a bitch on the radio today.
This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio. And you know, as always, we are proud, very proud to be the Patriot. I want to thank everybody that sent emails, faxed me information on this Noah Perry, Lila. I'm tired of talking about this. This makes my head spin. You guys think I make your head spin? This ignorant bitch boy. And I honestly didn't want to give him his 15 minutes of fame, but any ignorant bastard that dresses like this guy, that looks like this guy, you got to give him. We'll make it 15 minutes of embarrassment, not fame, 15 minutes of embarrassment. So I don't even want to go there. Yesterday, what did I tell you? What did I tell you yesterday? Belleville City Council was going to have a special meeting last night. I've got Roger Cook with me. He wants to look at this, whatever this is. There you go, Roger. I said that they were going to raise from $16 million to $32 million. You heard me yesterday in today's paper, Belleville City. And I got to say, I've got some friends that are aldermen in Belleville. But I got to ask you, how can I say this politically correct? What the hell were you thinking, you idiots? And then you're my friends. They're going to give now $32 million instead of 16 of our taxpayers' money. And here's what it says. It says because the project value has nearly doubled to $90 million. Now, it ain't doubled to $90 million when you don't even have one mainstream hotel, and now they say there's going to be 4, so you don't tack on money until you've got results. But I like the way this reads. They're going to estimate $32.36 million, people, of your taxpayers' money, because the project's value is nearly doubled to $90 million. Oh, it's doubled on paper. I could double it to $180 million. I want to see some results. I want to see some commitments. I don't see any commitments here. But here's the most egregious part. And if, sounds like the airport, doesn't it? And listen, and if it says, and if the project takes off, the city's share of sales tax revenue from the complex is expected to double to $1 million annually. Okay, I'm not a math major, but $32 million. If it takes off, we get $1 million a year. So that's 33 years. We'll have our money back. You idiots. You guys are complete idiots, and even my friends. Why would you even consider this? They don't have anything really committed yet. But hey, it was $45 million, Belleville Alderman, Belleville Mayor, Pussy Boy, Maximus Vaginas, Eckert. It was $16 million because we were going to put $45 million in. But now it's expanded to $90 million. Well, how do we know? Well, we just put it on paper. We're going to have 2 more hotels. We're adding this up. Are you people in Belleville crazy? You better get to that board and give these guys some psychological medication, because these guys are idiots. It's going to take probably 35. It says if it takes off. They'll get, if it takes off, $1 million a year. 35 to 40 years to even break even. Hell, we won't be around. This place will be, I don't know what Belleville will be in 35, 40 years. And I'm going to get to my community service. But Mayor Carl Officer, the ex-mayor of East St. Louis, Roger Cook, the ex-mayor of Belleville, and I know you guys don't have this in front of you, but what the hell, Mayor Officer, starting with you, what the heck you think? What is they're saying they're just evaluating what's going to happen, what could happen. They're throwing dollars, and we're going to get $33 million, take 40 years to recoup that money. Is that a good investment, or is that another Mid-America Airport investment?
It's even worse than Mid-America, Bob. We're sitting, you've heard me say this before, we're sitting in a complex here at 6600 West Main that has a dozen or so empty shops and businesses and available spaces in the heart of Belleville. There are places throughout the great city of Belleville that this administration seems to have ignored. To go out to the fringe of the community by the Shrine of Our Lady of the Snows, that's the project you're talking about, correct?
Right.
I mean, common sense to tell someone you're going to spend $30 million of the taxpayers' money or more on the first proposal. Now it's up to $90 million that they're saying they're going to spend?
Yeah, or $90 million, they say.
Now, I've been in business a long time. I know that you've got to have a track record. You've got to have receipts. You can't walk into a bank and get a $90 million loan on what some politicians think is going to happen. At the end of the day, you've got men and women who have sacrificed their families, their hard work, and their money building and making businesses sustainable in the city of Belleville. Why not help those businesses stay secure? Why not keep the sewers that you already got firm and working properly? Why stress the police officers all the way out to Route 15 when they've got enough area to cover right now? And then the fire department, it just goes on and on and on. I would think that at some point in time, I would ask, and I'm not a big proponent of always going to the bank. I'm going to do a major project, my sister and I. We're not going to the bank. We're paying for it. But at the end of the day, you let an independent source like bankers, if you got 5 bankers to sit on a blue ribbon panel and ask them, would you loan the city of Belleville without any strings attached, would you loan them $90 million? I guarantee you those bankers would say no.
Yeah. It's got here, Mayor, and here it's our money. It's Belleville's money. It's the taxpayers' money, and I pay taxes in Belleville, even though I don't live in Belleville. Here's another. This is Eckert, Pussy Boy, Maximus Vaginus Eckert. If they don't fill those hotel rooms, and if they don't sell what they project to sell, then they won't get the tax incentives. But they're already going to have this money up front. It's already going to be, $30 million. Roger Cook, what's your take?
Well, Bob, I only know what I read in the newspaper. I've never seen a document, the development agreement. I can tell you this, as a former mayor that did development agreements, I wasn't the one that was an expert in it. I knew business. I knew how to sell Belleville and try to bring businesses in. But I had somebody that was an expert in planning and development, that knew incentives, knew TIF districts, knew enterprise zones. And that's the type of person you need. I don't see that in Belleville. Mark Eckert was the economic development guy. They just recently hired a young lady. I don't know who she is, but you're only as good as the people you surround yourself with. What I will say is I brought a complex, a softball complex to Fairview Heights, built it up. I brought teams from Florida, Georgia, Louisiana, South Carolina, Michigan, Wisconsin, California. I filled hotels in Fairview Heights and brought a lot of money in there. So the soccer part makes sense if you can bring people in, but that's a question.
Right.
Now the hotels, I don't know that they have. I haven't seen a hotel announced yet that's coming. Yeah. If they do, and then the Hoff Brew House, are you going to go out there? There's questions out there, but I have not seen the development agreement, so I can't give you my firm thoughts.
That's fair. It says here the business district established on the site allows a 1% sales tax to be collected at the complex, and the developers would keep all this revenue for the first 23 years. And then if this is approved, the developers could save $1 million. All this if crap. We got some callers. Go ahead, caller. You're on the dark side.
Hey, Bob, this is Paul.
Hey, Paul, how you doing?
Real good. One thing that everybody's overlooked on this, that in ancient times, the Mississippi River used to flow up to that bank. Okay? That whole area all the way up there is Indian artifacts all the way back to archaic. Archaic means ancient man, Neanderthal. And there's been universities doing digs out there for years, and then they cover it back up. It's unbelievable. Actually, a mile to 2 miles away north from there, Lewis and Clark landed on their expedition. It's a historic site up on Signal Point. How come this hasn't been brought up? I think they're afraid to, because once that's found out nationally or it's told to the federal government, it might get shut down.
Hey, Paul, good point. Why don't you make an anonymous call? I'll pay for the call. Let's get the federal government involved, because that's the only thing that's going to save the city from these ignorant. And some of my friends are aldermen, but I think it's asinine. Paul, thank you very much for the call. We'll get back on that. I want to get my civic duties here out of the way, and then we'll take off with Carl Officer, Roger Cook. They're the co-chairs of the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition, and I know they've got a lot to talk about, and we're going to talk about it right after I get done with this. Don't forget, this Saturday and Sunday, the Millstadt Homecoming, Labor Day weekend at Liederkrantz Park in Millstadt, sponsored by the Millstadt Commercial Club. Saturday night, Pony Up Band. Sunday, Old Salt Union. Going to have carnival rides for the kids, human foosball tournaments, parades. If you can make it out this Saturday and Sunday to Millstadt Homecoming, please do. Trivia night, Saturday, September the 26th. Doors open at 6, game starts 7:15. At the Masonic Lodge, Franklin Lodge, number 25 AF of AM at 1513. Washington Avenue in Alton. Polish American War Vets, Saturday, September the 26th from 2 to 6 p.m. Music by Pull Toys, a 70s rock and roll band, under the pavilion. They're located at 2180 North 81st Street in Kaysville, Illinois. Any questions or concerns, you can contact 618-398-5040. American Legion Post 1937, the Mouse Races, this Saturday, September the 5th. Doors open at 6:30, races start at 7. It'll be held at TR's Place, 4901 Concordia Church Road in Belleville. Any questions or concerns, you can contact Senior Vice Commander Jim Markham at 618-558-7006. Harleys for Hounds, this Sunday. Harley for Hounds. All proceeds benefit Puppy's Palace, their dog rescue. It's going to be held at Shady Jack's on North Broadway. If you have any questions or concerns, I can't tell you who to call because they didn't leave me a telephone number, but everybody knows where Shady Jack's is, right north of the Luminaire Casino. It'll be this Sunday, and all proceeds, again, benefit the Puppy Palace Dog Rescue. The Hog Pit Barbecue and Grill, Patriots Day to remember 9/11. It'll be held September the 12th. There'll be a flag-raising, prayers, 21-gun salute by the Grafton American Legion, patriotic music, food and drink. All veterans welcome. That's September the 12th. What else do we have here? I guess that's it. Don't forget, you can pick me up on iTunes. Type in Bob Romanik and or the Grim Reaper of Radio. You can go to our streaming site, insanebroadcasting.com, one word, common spelling. You can like us on Facebook at KQQZ 1190 AM or our sister station at KZQZ 1430 AM. You can hear my repeat performance, every day at 4 o'clock p.m. and also broadcasting from the graveyard to the graveyard shift every night at midnight, Monday through Friday. Jessica from Cahokia, thank you very much, honey. She's been working on all of our Facebook pages, and we love you out there, honey. You keep up the good work in Cahokia. Terry Boulder, your last 2 shows about Bitch Boy really raised the bar, brother. This guy's got nothing against gays. The whole social media thing is nothing about. If you get a bitch boy and alder bitch on Twitter, let's see. I can't read the rest of that. Never mind. Hey, Bob, it's your old barbecue buddy, JR. If my daddy was around to see Bitch Boy, he'd have whipped him like a government mule. My daddy was tougher than a $2 steak. JR, thank you very much. Hey, I've got one more here. The 12th annual Paws in the Park fundraiser to be held in Greenville. It's going to be held on September the 19th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Rain or shine at Patriots Park in Greenville. If you have any questions or concerns, what a great organization. It's a no-kill shelter. If you have any questions or concerns from people around Greenville or anybody wanting to go up to Greenville, you can contact Rachel at 618-664-4068. I'm not going to mess with, on this date, I ain't got time for that crap. Go ahead, Roger. You got something to say?
Yeah, can I put in a plug for our homecoming in St. Leboy? The Schlombach Fest is this Sunday, and it goes all day long. It's got chicken dinner at 4. It puts money back in our community and our church, St. Leboius Catholic Church. So come on.
Well, what's the name of that fundraiser?
It's the Schlombach Fest. It's our homecoming.
Well, wait a minute. And they get mad at me for talking bad on the radio, and you get away. Whoa, you hear what the mayor officer said? He's attending one, I guess. We won't go there.
Well, I got one.
Our homecoming, the Schlombach Fest, is at Winnemans Park, which is on the east side of town.
Hey, anybody can make it out to St. Leboy. Great little town. I'm going to go here real quick.
Wait a minute. I got to get one in this Monday in East St. Louis. The annual Pollock Town picnic is going to be held right across the street from my house.
Oh, you're kidding me.
They've been doing it for 45 years in 2200 St. Louis Avenue, between St. Gady and St. Louis Avenue. Everybody who knows about Pollock Town, you've had the Mayor Williams, Mayor Officer, Mayor Bush, who all came out of that community. And this Saturday, it'll be there. They'll have pony rides, balloons, all kind of some barbecue, softball games, and it's free.
Hey, now here, I'm part Polish, and I'm being facetious, of course, but Polak is a negative word. Polacks' lives matter. I just want to say that to everybody out there. Polacks' lives do matter. Can I say that?
I think you can, but you forgot my ancestors. My real name is Orensky.
Oh, hell. Let's move on. Hey, a serious note, and I don't know if I'll probably get through it. Our good friends, Jerry and Rhonda Nichols, they lost a loved one last night. And I want to say, Jerry and Rhonda, Jerry Nichols Sr., my deepest, and I mean this, my deepest condolences for the loss of a truly loved family member, your little dog, Shardy. I mean, they took that dog around. I wish I would have been that dog, Shardy, because Jerry and Rhonda Nichols treated that dog like it was worth $1 million. And to them, it was worth $1 million. The poor little dog ate better than anybody. I joked with Jerry, and I said, Jerry, just put a little buffer pad on her belly, because she'd walk around and her belly would hit the ground. It would drag the ground. And I tell you, Jerry and Rhonda, remember all the good times, but their little daughter, and I'll say that with all due respect, Shardy, she had a long life, a great life. She was truly, truly loved by you guys. So, we can't beat Mother Nature at the end of the day. So, Jerry and Rhonda Nichols, my condolences on the loss of your daughter, Shardy. Well, you know what? When you lose a loved one, and I tell you what, people that love animals, when you lose an animal, you lose a family member. There ain't no playing around, and anybody thinking any different can kiss my ass. I got to say, and guys, you can chime in on this. Ed Cockrell and Frank Heiligenstein, they brought up something that said they would require to have the Pledge of Allegiance, and I salute them both for that. So there's an article in the paper, and it's all about Mark Kern says it's a good idea. Mark Kern says this. Mark Kern, you piece of crap. You guys wouldn't lower when our 5 military heroes got killed on our soil, those recruiters. You wouldn't lower the flag at half-staff at either the city or the county. And now, Kern, you're going to try to show how patriotic you are? Mayor Officer, I know you're a true patriot. What do you think? Maybe not this situation, but when people disrespect this great country, everything that it's given all of us, and not given us the opportunity to get it all. What's your take on this unpatriotic movement throughout our country?
Well, this afternoon, they're going to be having a funeral service, Bob, in Missouri for a young state trooper. And I noticed where Governor Nixon has ordered all the flags to be lowered at half-mast. I understand the tradition and the history behind it, but it seems very disturbing to me, I guess is the best word I can use, when politicians use the death of public servants like police officers and firefighters and EMT responders and other persons to get their political point across, or to get them some recognition by ordering the flag at half-staff, when they do not give the honor to the families and the honor to the respect of the life that has been lived. If we're just lowering the flag just to do it because I can say on a radio show or in a newspaper, I did this politically for this family, I don't think that that's honoring anyone. It's disrespecting the flag of the United States and the men and women who serve under that flag. And I don't know everyone's intentions. I do know this much. I go to Jefferson Barracks every week, and I take men and women who have served this country very faithfully, and I see their grieving families. I see the dedication and the intent of volunteers, Roger, who are in VFWs and American Legions. They go out to that cemetery, rain or shine, Bob, and they serve themselves. They don't get paid. They do the honor guard. They do everything because they feel that they're comrades in arms. Many of these men and women from both sides of the river, they don't even know the veteran. They don't know the family. They don't care about the color. They don't care about anything as their politics, whether they're a Democrat or Republican. They just care that this was another American military service person who suffered and sacrificed, and their family did, to defend our great freedoms. So I really kind of take it personal when I see politicians using the lowering of the flag at half-mast
for personal gain,
for personal political reasons. And, I just think at some point there comes a dignity and humanity that, does it hurt to pick up the phone and call the family? Does it hurt to maybe stop by? These politicians will stop by any place if they think they're getting 2 or 3 votes.
Right.
But, I just strongly suggest, Roger, I know being mayor, you probably went to a lot of services, but you could just go by a family member's house, take them a 6-pack of Vest soda, and
show
help
your
them.
respect.
There you go. You don't have to. If you got to do everything to get into some publicity, then it's not sincere.
Roger.
Simply what I'd like to say is, from first grader in grade school all the way up through high school and into college, we did the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. And we're proud Americans. We're proud of our military. We're proud of the people that served and protected and gave us these rights. I am so proud of Ed Cockrell and Frank Heiligenstein bringing this up. I had no idea they didn't do the Pledge of Allegiance. City Council does it every time. Everybody should do it. I'm proud of Ed and proud of Frank.
We're going to take a quick break. Before we do, again, Jessica, thank you very much from Cahokia. She put up, and I'm computer illiterate. I'm really legally illiterate. She put up a fans of the Grim Reaper radio. That's fans of the Grim Reaper radio. That's, I guess, my new Facebook. So get on there. You can cuss me out. I don't give a damn what you do, but let's get some action going. It's been up, the new page likes up 13,000%. So I don't know what that means, but it's fans of the Grim Reaper radio. And Roger, we're speaking about Facebook. What about your St. Clair County, you and Carl, St. Clair County Freedom Coalition Facebook?
Well, Jessica and Kenny are both working on it. Jessica's jumped in and just done a fabulous job, increased our likes, people that are following us. And go to St. Clair County Freedom Coalition, like us, get behind our movement to bring honest government back to St. Clair County.
I'll tell you, we're going to take a quick break. That's what we're going to talk about when we come back with Carl Officer, Roger Cook, co-chairs of the St. Clair County Coalition, Freedom Coalition. The petitions are out as of Tuesday, I believe, September the 1st. We're going to talk about what's going to be coming in this next election. We'll be back right after this break. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, America's bi-state voice of freedom, your guardian of the First Amendment, Radical Radio, And we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot.
From KQQZ 1190 AM, St. Louis, Missouri, USA, you're listening to Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio.
This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, America's bi-state voice of freedom, and proud to be your First Amendment and all-American station, Radical Radio, and we stand tall as the Patriot. With me, the co-chairs of the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition, and we've been talking back and forth for the last 4 or 5 months, but now spring training is over. Spring training is over. The political spring training is over. I've got with me Mayor Carl E. Officer, co-chair of the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition. And I want to apologize to Roger, because I should say Mayor Roger Cook, because once you're a mayor, once you're a governor, they always address you. So I'll say Mayor Roger Cook of Belleville, the other co-chair for the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition. And I liked what these guys have done. They said they wanted diversity. They wanted Democrats. They wanted Republicans. Sitting before me is a proud black man, Carl Officer, a Democrat, who will vote the way that he thinks best. He may be labeled or has been labeled a Democrat, but I think most people, intelligent people in politics anymore, are really independent. And I know Mayor Officer has voted for some Republicans as the Democratic mayor in East St. Louis. He's endorsed Republican candidates for governor, so that shows you how diverse he is. But here's a proud black man from the inner city, a Democrat from East St. Louis, and a proud white man, Roger Cook, a Republican from the outer county. Now, how much more diverse can you get? And you guys, in the last 6-7 months, both of you, I want to commend you. You guys have put this organization together. You guys have built a great foundation. I talked to people, and Roger, we were out in New 8. We've been all over. People understand that this coalition is a patriotic movement. It is not a political movement, but sometimes patriots have to fight politically to do what's right. And Roger, you and Carl, I want to again commend you for a job well done. But hey, the talk's over. The talk is over. We've got the petitions that were out on Tuesday. They have to be filed by the end of November. So I think the race is ready to start. Gentlemen, chime in.
I've been looking along with Roger. I've probably been looking a little bit harder, because I really want this thing to be a true coalition. I've been trying to find a Hindu woman.
I've got one tied up in my basement, but
no. But seriously, it has been a pleasure and a joy to work with Roger, because he has not only been a gentleman, he's been what I like to call a Christian gentleman, and he's been very adamant about inclusion. And he's looked at, even though he's a former mayor of Belleville, and he's living out in St. Louis now, he has been throughout St. Clair County, every nook and cranny, from Brooklyn, Illinois, to the smallest communities, from Smithton to throughout. And he's talked to both businessmen and educators. He's talked to bankers. He's talked to the average guy in a coffee shop. And he's done an excellent job, and I couldn't find a better co-chairman. But where we are right now, we think that we're in the process of being able to announce on our Facebook page, and through the great auspices of this radio station, 1190, we couldn't have done any of this work anyways successful, Bob, without you, without your help. We want to thank you and your entire staff for all the time and effort that you guys have put forth, because you've been able to get the word out, and that makes a major difference right there. We couldn't have bought this kind of radio time. We couldn't have got this kind of publicity. And you are seeing firsthand almost every day. Your listeners are calling you, telling you that they're tired of this, they're tired of that. I think we're seeing that in the national polls. All the people who are leading in the national polls are not career politicians.
Right.
People are sick and tired of government as usual from either party. It doesn't have to go with just one party. They're not pleased with either party going along the party lines. As Roger has aptly said over and over, you vote the person, not the party. And we're going to be meeting, that's one of the reasons we're up here this morning. We had a little short meeting. We're going to finish up something when we get off the air here about coming back, and hopefully you'll be able to look on our website. You'll be able to hear on this radio station how you can get involved in helping us get our petition signed, and helping circulate petitions. I think we have to give some clear instructions, Roger, because some people will get a little confused. Well, if I sign that, can I do this? There are some legal instructions when you sign one petition. You can't sign a petition for the same person for the same office. So we need to straighten that part out for them, because I don't think right now, other than the career politicians, Bob, in the Democrat Party, quite frankly, from the culture of corruption, they're the only ones who are going to go out to the, I like to think, the mindless wanderer. They've got an apparatus where they just put some paper in some people's hands, and they'll sit around someplace and fill out all those things.
Right.
So we're looking for men and women of integrity, of courage, who want to stand up for their county. That's what the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition is about.
Roger.
Well, I agree with a lot of everything that Carl just said. It's important that the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition, working with the Republican parties, drawing in independents and Democrats, put a complete slate for the 2016 year. That's our goal. Now, the circulation of petitions, there are rules. Everybody that's a circulator has to be a voter, has to be registered, and on and on. And everyone that circulates for this civic organization candidates that we're backing, the Republican Party on the Republican ticket, will know that. And I'm not concerned about that. That's something that we've got organized, and we will push that forward. So we're excited. We think we've got a lot of good candidates on the set up to go on the Republican ticket and run and take our county back.
You know, I was up in Springfield a couple days ago, first part of last week. And there's a lot of political buzz going. You guys may not know it, but they're talking about the concept of the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition. And I spoke to two powerful political people in Springfield, and they said, what a great idea. What a great idea, uniting Democrats, Republicans, independents, men, women, black and white. They said it couldn't have been a better time for this to happen, because people are tired of politics. You guys are inviting Democrats in, Republicans, men, women. It is a true independent, patriotic organization. And guys, I'm going to ask you, I think people are going to start wanting to get involved. People are going to be announcing for their candidacies for different offices. Can they go to the Facebook? How can they go say, hey, Bob Romanik, I'm listening to you guys, and I say, me, Bob Romanik, I want to get involved. I want to help in the election. Can I go to Facebook? And I'm not a Facebook guy. Can I go to Facebook and put my name and telephone number, and would you guys contact me and let me know what's going on and make me part of this organization?
Bob, absolutely. In fact, I have my phone number given out. If they want to talk, they want to ask something, they want to volunteer, call me. My cell number is my old business cell number, 314-807-9656. Call me. I'll talk to you. I'll tell you what you can do. We're building that as we speak. Kenny and Jessica, if there's a question for me, a question for Mayor Officer,
put it on Facebook.
Put it on Facebook, and we'll respond to it. We'll get that information to each other, and we'll go from there.
That's St. Clair County Freedom Coalition. All they got to do is type in or whatever, St. Clair County Freedom Coalition, not .com, just St. Clair County. I guess people that know Facebook know what the hell they're doing. I don't want to confuse them.
Hey, we'll do the .com when our website is officially
I hear that you guys are working on that as we speak, too.
Very close, very close.
I like how Roger and Ed Cochran, they give out their cell phone numbers.
Uh-huh.
I don't give mine out only simply because I have a flip phone. I'm not buying an iPhone. I'll give out my home number. It's 618-875-7861. I got a regular old answering machine at my house. I don't have call waiting and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, me neither.
But you can call me at home, and when I get through watching a Cardinal baseball game, I'll call you back. But I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not going to stop watching the ball game to answer your call to talk about the Freedom Coalition. I will call you after
No.
I finish the game.
Now that's an avid fan, isn't
Hey,
it,
now,
Roger?
I'll tell you, I'll answer it and watch the game.
Okay.
I have to concentrate. But let me share this with you, what you just got to say, Bob, about people wanting to contact us on their Facebook page. The young lady in Cahokia, we have another young lady, Roger's sister, quite frankly, has been very instrumental in help putting this thing together. You're going to see so much growth on the social media side of what we're doing over the next several months that it's going to really kind of surprise all of us, because what I have heard over and over and over again, I had a couple of young men in my office yesterday saying, what can we do to help? These are two professionals. One's a registered EMT, a registered nurse out of a hospital, both here in Illinois and one in Missouri. They're just sick and tired of this silly mess.
Yeah.
They came in to my funeral home the other day, spoke to me about it. They're excited about Roger, and they're excited about what we're doing. But they're more important than anything else, they're excited about them being able to exercise their freedom without being dictated to by some political machine, some boss in the back room, and some hard-nosed, hard-headed, some person who's telling them, you better do this, you got to do this, or else.
Yeah.
People are tired of being threatened.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're not going to be threatened. The St. Clair County Freedom Coalition, I am a proud member. I'm a crazy member. I'm going to do all I can do. Everybody out there listening, we have to. 2016, it's make or break for us. I talked to the people in Cahokia. If they don't stop this culture of corruption, Sprague and Kern will give a bigger hammer to the McCalls, and they'll go crazy with it. Same way in East St. Louis. I think we're making inroads in the East St. Louis. I think the proud black community has understood what these white boys have been doing to them for the last 30, 40, 50 years. And I don't like to make that racial, but in politics in St. Clair County, unless they divide and conquer the proud blacks and the proud whites, they can't win. We'll be back with Roger Cook, Carl Officer, right after this break. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio, and we are, as always, proud to be the Patriot.
From KQQZ 1190 AM, St. Louis, Missouri, USA, you're listening to Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio.
This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio, and we are, as always, very proud to be the Patriot. Roger, we're talking about the election, and I know you're out, as Carl is, out day and night. I hear people saying that, I hear Carl Officer down below the hill talking about the Freedom Coalition, preaching about the Freedom Coalition. I hear Roger Cook all throughout the county, but all throughout the county, Roger, and I know you get all about, what are the comments, what's the take on the Freedom Coalition? What is the response you're getting from all the good people in St. Clair County?
Well, Bob, last weekend on Saturday, we were judges at the New Athens Festival out there, the bands and everything.
Great time.
Yeah, and we judged the barbecue. It was all great. People, when they're standing in line to talk to you, and they're coming up and they're giving you hugs and saying how much I appreciate what you're doing, trying to bust up what's going on in St. Clair County. We've lived here our whole life, and we're sick and tired of it. And we can win this time because of what you're doing. And it's one after another last Saturday. But I can't go anywhere without somebody that recognizes me and comes up to me and thanks me. And I said, no, you got to thank Bob Romanik and this radio station that he has, because you give us the voice. Sure, Carl and I are doing a lot of work bringing people together. But without this voice of this radio station, we wouldn't have a chance. Now, I think a lot of people miss understand how powerful your voice is, because I can tell you, if it's from St. Laborie to Mascoutah to Freeburg, if it's to East St. Louis or Cahokia, you go to any corner of this county and people thank me for trying to bring this county back to the people, and it's really your voice, and I will never forget this. Well, and that's why Carl and I, we're so appreciative, and so are the people. Now I'll say, Donald Trump talks and he says things what the people want to hear, because they're fed up with the people just using political correctness talk.
Right.
And that's what you do.
And I started it way before Trump did.
You absolutely did.
Hey, I appreciate the compliment, but let me tell you, I never want to be what I hate as a big shot. I'm here. I just happen to have the opportunity through my son to be on the air to express my opinion. I'm sure there's 10,000 other people out there that could do just as good or better than me and would have the same following. But you're right, Roger. It is. We need a voice. And right here, you guys are the voice. You're the voice of the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition. And you're right. Without the radio station, it couldn't get out because it cost a lot of money for advertising. But I'm going to do what I can do. You guys are doing what you can do. You've got your part. I've got my part. And listen to me, people, everybody in St. Clair County. It may be contribute $1. It may be contribute a 2 hours. It may be vote. You can all contribute to get rid of this St. Clair County culture of corruption. And even though I may give a little more or less than you, or you may give a little more or less than me, we're all part of this team, and we can't do it without everybody. And Carl, you and Roger, you guys spend a lot of time, and I appreciate the accolades, but you guys, even though you don't have the voice of the masses, you've got the voice because you're out there every day talking to 10, 15, 20 people, and I hear about it every day through the radio, through the emails. And Carl, what's your take? Do you think the good people below the hill, East St. Louis, Washington Park, Centerville, Allerton, Cahokia, do you think they're going to understand and they're going to break away from this plantation mentality that the boys in Belleville have put them in for the last 20, 30, 40 years?
I think it goes beyond just below the hill. I think what happens is that, yes, is the answer directly to your question. I think it's going to take a concentrated effort by Roger and I and yourself and others to educate voters, regardless of where they live, of getting out of the way they used to vote or way they used to think about voting for the last 40, 50, 60 years of their lives. They've got to understand now that Democrats and Republicans and organized political parties are just there to self-perpetuate their own agendas. This is an agenda that Roger and I are on. This is more like a crusade for good, honest, open government. Roger and I are independent enough as men and as political leaders and former mayors that we didn't let anybody dictate to us when we were in office. We're certainly not going to let somebody dictate to us now. Right. And at the same point, what we have found is that there are common ground. There's a mother sitting in St. Laborie who's just as hurting, who her child dies of heroin overdose, as a mother who sits in East St. Louis whose child dies of heroin overdose.
Good point.
Okay?
Good point.
There's a parent sitting in New Athens who's wondering how they're going to pay their property tax bill, and yet still they see thousands of dollars, millions of dollars being spent on the airport every month, but then they tell these senior citizens, we don't have any money to feed them. One of the most ridiculous and ludicrous things this summer that I did not shout out about was the fact that they said the St. Clair County Fair could not be held because they had $65,000 they didn't get from the state of Illinois. They blame Bruce Rauner. That is the biggest lie I've ever heard in my life. $65,000, the reason we didn't have a county fair in St. Clair County is what this culture of corruption said, because we didn't get the money from the state of Illinois.
Well, we can throw $13 million.
$13 million at an airport. You could have had the county fair out there. You could have done whatever you wanted to do. Come on, at the end of the day, you're blaming Bruce Rauner. He's not perfect, but neither are those Democrats in that House of Representatives or in that state Senate. They've got, nobody talks about the favors and the BS that they get in the back room. And finally, the members of the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition, they got a voice now. They've got an opportunity to speak out. Because where did they go beyond that? There was no place to. Yeah, to answer your question, they're not only going to be educated, they're going to get a PhD in what it's like to understand how to defeat the culture of corruption, because I'm going to be the head professor at the beginning, and Roger's going to be the registrar. We're going to sign them up, we're going to get them up, and we're going to graduate them valedictorians, every single one of you.
Very well said. Now, you had something I had to remind you because you're getting old, Mayor. Something on the 23rd.
26th of...
I'm sorry.
We I know it's not your favorite vehicle, the News Democrat. Roger and I are looking at... we're going to be promoting... looking at, there's something called the Progress, the St. Clair County Progress. It's going to be published for all those persons who don't have access to the internet, whatever. They'll be able to get a paper that will show where the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition is, what we're about, and things of that nature. It's going to be a full-page ad. You're going to see it. We're going to tell you more about it, but it comes out on September 26th throughout the entire... It's free, so we want people to be able to get a copy of it. But I am very excited about the meetings that Roger and I are having, along with some other leaders, our good friend Ed Cochran and some other persons. So we're very, very excited about what's coming up. Roger's been working tirelessly back and forth on the highway between Springfield and back and forth. Even Captain America, I've had a chance to talk to him. He's been in Washington and Chicago. He's got some information for us. So I'm very pleased. I want to thank you for getting Captain America with us, man.
Hey, now is Captain America related to Charlie America, or are they kind of one and the same?
I think they are biological twins.
Oh, boy, that's a shame, because he does a great job. He's a great political operative, but he's sure not the best-looking guy in town.
Oh, no. He's got some issues.
Hey, Roger, Carl, you guys welcome back anytime. I hope now that the filing date is drawing near, that we'll get a lot of candidates, and I know we'll get the Freedom Coalition, the candidates that the Freedom Coalition is backing. I know they'll be on, and I welcome the opposition, the democratic culture of corruption, and people, I've welcomed them on. I have asked Kern, I have asked all those, I have offered $10,000. These people disrespect not me, but you. $10,000 to come on the show and be transparent and come on the dark side and answer the hardball questions. These people will not do it for $10,000. We're already giving them $70,000, $80,000, $90,000 in salaries. We're going to continue to expose these rotten bastards. And I think people, at the end of the day, the culture of corruption is about ready to be destroyed. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of Radio, and you've been listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio at its finest. And we are, as always, proud, very proud to be the Patriot. Come on back tomorrow. You know the routine, day in and day out. You got to get up. You got to put your drawers on. You got to take a crap. You got to wipe your butt. That's part of life. And we'll continue right here on KQQZ 1190 AM to continue, you hear me, people, day in and day out, to expose this culture of corruption, this corruption that has been going on for 30, 40, 50 years. Don't say I'm voting Democrat because my dad was a Democrat, my parents were Democrats, my grandparents, they'd be rolling over in their graves. Vote for the person, not the party. Vote for the person who's going to help get you people out of that plantation down in East St. Louis. The St. Clair County Democratic Freedom Coalition. Guy told me to say Democrat. I said, no, it's not a Democratic coalition. It's not a Republican coalition. It's a freedom coalition, getting us all free from the culture of corruption, the perverted political culture of corruption in St. Clair County. So let's all, through the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition, let's all get together. Let's all unite, Democrats, Republican, men, women, black and white, and some gays. Let's all get together and help to expose, to drag, and in November 2016, destroy these no-count, perverted political punks we call politicians. Destroy them so we can live a decent life in this great country. Destroy them politically, of course, right here on the dark side.
They're coming to take me away, ha-ha. They're coming to take me away, ho-ho, hee-hee, ha-ha. To the funny farm where life is beautiful all the time. And I'll be happy to see those nice young men in their clean white coats. And they're coming to take me away, ha-ha.
The Patriot.
Your First Amendment and All-American Station. A division of Insane Broadcasting. Renegade Radio.
KQQZ, St. Louis.